Hello everyone. In this series of video, we'll see about the SAP REST API. A REST API that is stand for Representational State Transfer. It is a programming interface which enables us the REST compliant web services. If you want to establish a connection between SAP to other system through the web, then we can use this REST based API concept. The general format of the REST API for calling a REST API in SAP is like this: the HTTP or HTTPS followed by the domain name or the IP address of our server, the port number slash service name, this service which we create in the T code SICF. Then here is a template. So when we are establishing a HTTP based service in SAP, so through the web, first requests come to SAP through the ICF channel, that is known as Internet Communication Framework. All the web requests come through ICF only. This we create in the SICF transaction code. The T code for ICF is SICF. In the SICF we create a service. In that service we attach one handler class. That handler class based on the template which is called through the web, it route that handler that request to the corresponding resource provider. The handler class we can create by using a predefined class CL_REST_HTTP handler, and the resource provider we have to create using CL_REST_resource. For one handler class we can add multiple resources based on the template which get called. The REST API use the HTTP protocol for the communication. Routing of the HTTP request to different services and resource depending on the specified resource is possible. Means which resource the request is calling. Based on that we can route to different service provider. We can also handle the different text format like XML, JSON, plain text, HTML, etc. So for creating the REST API in the SAP, the steps are as follows. First, we can create a resource class by inheriting the standard class, that is CL_REST resource. We have to create the request handler class by inheriting a standard class CL_REST_HTTP handler. We have to create a SICF service, and in the SICF service we have to add the handler class. We have to activate and test the service. Now where we can use, you might have seen on the web, on most of the website, the given like the contact us form is there, or you can see on the Amazon there are inquiry form, the customer complaint form. Okay, so this is a SAP website. So here we can see they have given a form. Okay, so I'm creating a small project of similar kind. Here what I'm doing, my requirement is I want to create a REST based API which will be called by a company customer portal, a mobile app, for creating the customer complaint. I want to give this web service for the integration to their website or customer portal, from where the customer will create the complaint, and that complaint to be created in the SAP system. So this is my requirement. For every complaint which will be created to the customer portal, the unique ID to be generated, and if the complaint ID is passed through the portal, then the detailed status of that complaint is to be sent back. So this will be my format, like the complaint's name, the email ID, mobile number, and the complaint detail. The data will pass from the portal: customer name, mobile number, email ID, complaint description, and in response we have to send back the complaint number. So the step for this project will be like this. First we have to create a table in SAP. Then we'll create a number range with SNRO. Then we'll create a request handler class first actually. Then the resource class and the SICF service. And then finally we'll do the testing using the Postman. So first we'll create a table in SE11. So let me open the SAP. So in the SE11, I'll be creating one table with around 12 fields like the mandate, ID, customer name, mobile, email, complaint description, status, action taken after getting that complaint, the closing date, credit by, credit on, and the time. So go to SE11, give the name as zrest underscore cm zrest underscore complaint. Click on create table for, let's say, web complaint. Display maintenance allowed. This simple table creation. Go to fields tab, give the mandate. Second field I'm taking as the ID. ID will be my primary key. I'm taking the type as VBELN. The next field which I want is customer name, mobile number. I'm copying all from here. Customer name, mobile number, email ID, complaint description, the status of the complaint, action taken, closing date, credited by, credited on, and time. I'm taking the standard data element which is available or the character format. Okay, so first we have to create a table. I am saving a local object. Go to technical setting. This will be your transaction data. Size category I'm taking as 550 only. Save, check. Go back. Go to extras. Enhancement category. Cannot be enhanced. Check and activate. Okay, so first I have created this table. This is my table name. Okay, so now we'll create the numbering object, because for every complaint I want to generate a number. That numbering object will create in the REST API SNRO code. Okay, go back. Go to T code SNRO. Give the name as REST C, that is REST complaint. Click on create. Let's say web complaint. Give the any ID here. I'm taking the numC 10. My ID will be of 10 digit. Save. Go back. So this is my number range object. REST C. Okay. So first we create a table, and then we created the number range objects. So create the number range. Go to interval. I'm entering the first as 01 and 10 digit. Save. So now we're done with SNR objects. Okay, so we have created table and we have created the number objects. So now next we'll create the handler class first. Then after handler class creation, we'll go for the resource class creation. For creation of the request handler class, go to T code SE24. Here, give the class name ZCL underscore web complaint resource handler, and give the name as ZCL underscore web complaint resource handler. Click on create. Description: request handler for web complaint. Click on inheritance. Here enter the super class as CL underscore REST underscore HTTP underscore handler. Click on save. Now In the properties, we can see the definition. The superclass is request handler. So based on this superclass, we can see the automatically default methods are created. In the interface, the HTTP extension got added, and in methods, you can see 4 methods: the get root handler class, handler request, handle CSARF token, and the initialize. Now save. Now here the implementation of first method, that is get root handler, is mandatory. If you activate without implementing it, it will give the error. The redefinition of the method get root handler is missing because it is a mandatory method to implement it if you have done the inheritance using this class. Now, how to implement this method? Put the cursor here and click on redefine method. So here you have to create a router. Click on signature. You can see we have to return the value. What value we have to return? The RO root handler. The root handler we have to return. So we'll create a router first. Now type here with new web syntax data hello underscore router equal to new CL underscore rest underscore router, give a space between the bracket, now this hello underscore router has a method called attach. After writing the hello underscore router greater sign attach, just give a space and double click on this attach. So here we have to give a template and the handler class. This template will be which we have to pass from the web URL. Here you can see this will be the template. Okay, so whatever value you have to pass here, that we have to mention in the template. Okay, so in the template we'll mention, let's say this is case sensitive, so I'm mentioning as web complaint. This is case sensitive. If you mention here in the small letter, in the URL you have to pass in the small letter. If it is capital, then in URL pass the capital letter. Okay, now here we have to give the handler class, the resource class, okay, which will be responsible for this request handler. So I'm giving the name as ZCL underscore web complaint underscore resource provider. Okay, this is my template which will pass from the URL, and this will be the class which we have to create as a resource provider web complaint. Okay, now at the end we have to give back the return as per the signature RO underscore root underscore handler, RO underscore root underscore handler, that is equal to hello underscore router. Now save, check and activate. So what we have done, we have created a router like based on the web template which resource provider we have to call. In one root handler we can add multiple template with the multiple resource provider. Okay, now this is in black color. All which are redefined will be in black color and remaining will be in the blue color. So activate the class. So our request handler class is activated. I'm copying this. Let me note down in our document. So my request handler class is ZCL underscore web complaint underscore request handler. Now we'll create the resource provider and we'll implement the get and post method. Now we'll create the resource class, and first I will implement the get method, and after testing of get method we'll implement the post method. Okay, so first go to SE24. In SE24 we have to give the same name which we have mentioned in the handler class in the template. For this template I want that system should use this resource class. Okay, so with the same name we have to create a resource class, resource provider. In SE24 create, let's say, web component resource provider. Don't do change any setting here, it will be final class. Click on create inheritance. Here we have to mention the CL underscore rest underscore resource. This will be the resource provider. 7 local object. Now properties, default interface. In methods we can see the different methods are inherited from the superclass. So first we'll redefine the get method. Let me save first. Now here no method is mandatory, means we can first activate the class as it is. Now first we'll implement the get method. Select on get method, click on redefine. Now in the get method, first understand what is my requirement. From the web, when the service will get called, along with this parameter, that is the query parameter, I will be passing one more parameter through the web, that is the ID, my component ID. If using the get method, my calling program, that is my web portal, is passing the component ID number, then my requirement is system should return the detail of that ID. Okay, so in the get method, my first requirement is to get the value of this field, ID field, and based on this ID field, select data from database table, and then return the response in the JSON format to the web. Okay, so first we'll do the coding to get the value of this ID field. Again, go back to our class. Here, first declare one variable string. I'm taking as lb underscore string 1, type string. Take one more, lb underscore string 2, again of type string. Now one work area based on our table which we have created in the first step. So our table name was z rest underscore component. Type the table name which we have created. Okay. Now I want to read the query parameter with the field name as ID. Okay. So for that, here what we have to do, lb underscore string 1 equal to, now if we check the signature, okay, there is nothing in this signature. So by default in the REST API there is one structure called mo underscore request and mo underscore response. If you want to read the request, then we have to type mo underscore request, and what we want to fetch here, we want to get the variable, that is the URI query parameter. So type get. You can see different methods. So here I want that get underscore URI underscore query underscore parameter. I want to fetch the parameter. Which parameter I want to fetch? That is lv underscore name equal to ID. Okay. from this URL, I want to get the value of this ID field. So what I have done, I have defined one string variable, then using the mo underscore request, which is the default, I am fetching the value of ID using the method get underscore URI underscore query underscore parameter. Now here we have the value of ID in this LV underscore name field, LV underscore string field. Okay. Now from our database, we have to select one record based on this value. Okay. So select single all from Z rest underscore complaint into corresponding fields of GS underscore complaint, where my ID equal to LV underscore string 1. Self check. I think it will give type mismatch error. Oh, it is 1 second. This is IV underscore name, not LV. Okay, so what we have done, from the URL, from this URL, we have read the value of my complaint ID in the field LV underscore string 1. Now I am passing that ID to my database table. I am fetching one record. Now once I got the record in my internal table structure, I have to pass back in the JSON format to the URL. For JSON format, there is a standard class. You type /UI2/CL underscore JSON serialization, that is serialize. Okay. Press Ctrl plus tab. Once you press the Ctrl plus tab, this default data will come, all the parameters. Okay. How to do? See one more time. Here, once you type this static method serialize, just Ctrl plus escape, and after this press Ctrl and tab. Then all these default parameters will come. If you are doing first time, this is also important, how to get all this by default. Now here in the data, what we have passed in the data which we have first from the database, that is GS underscore complaint, and in return we have to give the JSON format. Okay, so I am passing JSON back with this string, that is LV underscore string 2. Okay, what we have done, first we have read the ID from the query parameter, then we have select the data record from database using that ID, then we have done the JSON serialization, that is we are converting the internal table data, the internal structure data into a JSON format. Now once we have our data in the JSON format, we have to give it back as a response. Okay, so how to give the response? As I mentioned, there are two default request methods are there. One is mo underscore request and second is mo underscore response. Now we want to set back this value as a response. So type mo underscore response and here we have to create the entity. In mo underscore response, we have to create entity and we have to set the value. Which value we want to set? The string data. Set underscore string underscore data, and here pass that iv underscore data equal to lv underscore string 2. Okay, what we done here? First, we have done the conversion of table value into the string format, and then we have set the response by a create entity with m underscore response. Now I want to pass the value in the JSON format. Okay, so here we have to set the header field, that is m underscore response. Here set header fields, that is set underscore header underscore field. Just put a cursor here, control plus space, and type control plus tab. As soon as we place a control plus tab, we can see the by default the below value will come. Now here set in the iv underscore name the content type, content hyphen type, the header field name which I want to set as the content type. My content type in the format as JSON. So here type application slash JSON. Save, check, and activate. Okay, I will repeat again what we have done. The very first step, from the calling URL, you wanted to fetch the ID of the complaint, as this is a get method. Okay, so with this syntax, we are fetching the value of ID. Based on the ID, system will selecting the data from the database table, and that value are converted into a JSON format using the JSON serialization, and that JSON value we are sending back by creating an entity and m underscore response. And here I am telling my system that the content type which I am sending is of JSON format JSON. Activate and go back. Okay, just activate. So now we have implemented the get method. So now we'll add one record into database table and we'll test the get method. So go to SE11. I am adding one record manually in my database table. SE12 rest underscore complaint. Go to utilities. First record I am creating manually in the database table for checking. Let's say my ID is 1, customer name is Zephyr, mobile number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, email ID it says zephyr.k@gmail.com, complaint description, testing of REST API created by Zephyr. Okay, this data I'm manually creating. So I will pass this one from the web URL and I want to fetch this data back. Save. Okay, now we'll do the testing into Postman. For testing of the get method which we have created, first we have to create a service in the SICF T code, and we have to add the request handler class inside that service. So first we'll create the service with T code SICF. Go to SICF, execute, default host. Okay, create host/service. Press enter. Here we have to give the service name which we want to create. So here I'm giving as Z complaint. Okay, this is my service name. Complaint through web mobile app. Give a description. I am saving in a local object. Go to the handler class. Here we have to enter the class which we have created, that is ZCL underscore web complaint underscore RH, that is the request handler class. We can also maintain the ID password in the service, but it is not good practice to have the ID password in the web service, so we'll pass at the runtime. So we have created the service Z complaint and we have added the handler class. Save, go back, expand this. So you can see the Z complaint is here, but it is a gray color. So all means it is not activated yet. So all which are activated, you can see in that black color. So how to activate service? Just right click here, activate service. Now the service is activated. For testing, just right click and click on test service. It is asking for the user ID password. Enter the user ID password. No suitable results found, because this is the default web URL which is coming. For testing, along with the service name, that is Z complaint, we have to pass the template ID which we have created in the get root handler class. So this is the template we have to pass from the URL. This is case sensitive. If it is small, pass a small letter. Copy. Go to the web again. Here, before the question mark, there is a parameter. Enter our template. Execute. Now you can see the blank JSON format is coming. Why it is blank? Because I have not passed any complaint ID from the URL. If you pass the complaint ID, it will give you the details of that complaint, because we have written the code accordingly. If you see our get method code, here it is reading the ID, and based on the ID it is fetching the data. Okay, so now I will pass the ID from the URL. So but till here it is working successfully, because we are able to see the data which is blank, but we are able to see all the fields, that is mandate, the ID, customer name, mobile, email, complaint description, all the fields as per our database table which we have created. See here, Z REST complaint. So those all fields we can see on the web URL. This means it is working properly. Now it pass here. I'll pass the parameter ID as 1, because I have one record in my database with ID 1. So how to add a new parameter? Add the ampersand ID equal to 1. Press enter. Now again data is coming blank, because this complaint field I am using the VBLN, which required a leading 0, and here I have not written any code for the leading 0. So I will change the parameter type. First we will see how to debug it. If you want to debug any external service, select the cursor and click on set delete external debugger. Now again I will just refresh. So we can see the debugger is getting open. So here it has fetched the ID. The ID is 1. It requires leading 0. Okay, if I add runtime, Now execute. Okay, again it is not coming, so I will use the conversion exists inside the code. Change mode. This lb underscore string I will make as VBELN because I use the data type as VBELN for my ID field in the table, and here I will use the conversion exist alpha input pattern. Conversion exist alpha input we have to use. Instead of string, I use my data element. Activate the code. Because I have one record with ID as 1. Now again I will pass the same request with ID 1. Refresh. Again the debugger is getting open. So here it is 1. Press F6. The system has added a leading 0. Now we can see the data is there in the structure. Press F8. Great. See, we have successfully received a response on the web. We can see the complaint ID is 1, customer name, mobile number, email. So after creating the complaint, if you want to give the option to see the status of the complaint, you can simply pass this ID from the web URL and system will give the detail of that complaint. So this way we tested on a web. Now we'll see same how to test this through the Postman. I will copy this URL as it is. And go to Postman. In Postman, I'm adding the same in the get method, my URL. In the authorization, we have to select the basic authorization. Here we have to pass the user ID and password. I have already saved. I'll just click on send. My debugger is still open. I will reset it after this. See, we have successfully received the JSON format here also. Okay, so we have received the JSON in the output, same which we have received in the web. I will just copy this and will keep as a record in my test file. This will required while creating the post method. So till now it is successfully working. We are able to test a web service from the web URL as well as through the Postman. If I change the ID, I'm entering 2. For ID 2 there is no record. So system should return the blank JSON. Again click on send. I have deleted breakpoint. Effect. Now I can see all the values are blank because with ID 2 I don't have any record. So in this way we are successfully done with the testing of get method of the REST web service. So in next section we'll see about how to create the post method, and we'll create a record by passing the data from the Postman, and then we'll create the record in the SAP. That we'll see in the next session.